Because the Bible tells us in Acts chapter 13, it says that in verse 22, after he had removed Saul, he raised up David to be king, concerning whom he also testified and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my heart, who will do all my will. You know, when David was a young man, he could fit that. He was a man after God's own heart. He would do everything God wanted him to do. He was special. It was obvious that he was set apart. And God was with him. God helped him when he was shepherding the sheep. God helped him to kill Goliath. God helped him later whenever he was a warrior fighting the Philistines. God helped him when he was second in command and King Saul was trying to kill him. God helped him whenever him and Jonathan built that relationship that was so strong. And God helped him and gave him wives and gave him palaces and gave him everything that a man would want. But then it's so heartbreaking because then something happens and David's heart slipped. And you know the story. He's up on the palace. It's springtime. And his army is off at war. And he goes up because it's cooler in the evening whenever the sun goes down. And so the sun is setting, I'm imagining. And David goes up on top of his palace and he's overlooking the city of David, Jerusalem. And he's able to see, wow, look what God has done. And I'm sure he had great satisfaction in his heart to see the houses and to see his people, to see his city, and to know that he is a conquering king and he's victorious and his country is healthy and everybody really is satisfied and happy for the most part. But then he looks over and he sees, while the sun is setting in the beautiful sky in the Middle East, and he looks, and there is a beautiful woman named Bathsheba. And she's on her roof. And he can see her. And she's taking a bath. She's beautiful. And he calls his servant and he says, who's that? That's Bathsheba. Her husband is Uriah the Hittite. He's in your army. You know, David just struggled and struggled. And maybe this wasn't the first time he's seen her. I have a feeling it wasn't. You see, Satan you don't just wake up one morning and say, you know, Satan says, hey, I'm going to still kill and destroy you today. That doesn't happen. It's gradual. It's a slippery, slow slope that leads to destruction. And so I imagine that maybe David, nowhere in the Bible does it say this, but I wonder if David didn't just come out here often and see her. He had known her. Maybe he had seen her in the marketplace. Maybe he saw her with her husband at an officer's party. Who knows what in the world happened? The Bible doesn't tell us any of these things, but it just says that when he saw her, he said, who is that? And that's Bathsheba. Bring her to me. And he slept with her, and then she got pregnant, and then you know the story. He winds up having Uriah killed on the battlefield by putting him at the fierce part of the fighting and then withdrawing from him. Did it all on purpose, premeditated. I mean, if there was ever a sin that led to death, David had to have committed it. And he went from being this man after God's own heart who would do all of God's will to being just a regular guy that falls just like everybody else falls. Now, have you ever sinned like that? Have you ever sinned to the point where you've lost all confidence between you and God? Your heart is condemning you. Well, the Bible tells us about it. It says in Psalms chapter 32. And this is a simple verses 1 through 11. It's a very short psalm, but it's actually what we call a maskil. And there's only 13 of these psalms in all of the book of Psalms. So 13 of them. And this is the very first one. And I'll read it to you. It says, how blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. In other words, the word blessed, how happy. How wonderful it is when you know that you don't have sins counted against you. How blessed is the man to whom the Lord does not impute iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. When I kept silent about my sin, my body wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy upon me. My vitality was drained away as with the fever heat of summer. And it has that word Selah, which means think about it. Just pause. Think about what I just said. I lost all confidence between God, and my conviction was so great upon me because of what I had done. I had lied. I had committed adultery. I had murdered. And then I tried to cover it up. And while I was covering it up, the guilt was on me, and you just wonder that his relationship with God was so destroyed. How the mighty have fallen. Then it says, therefore, let everyone who is godly pray to you in a time while you may be found. Surely in a great flood of waters they will not reach him. You are my hiding place. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with songs of deliverance. I will instruct you and teach you in the way which you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Do not be as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose trappings include bit and bridle to hold them in check. Otherwise, they will not come near you. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but he who trusts in the Lord, loving kindness shall surround him. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, you righteous ones, and shout for joy, all you who are upright in heart.